Bum, 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 bum. Preparing a live stream. This is just getting set up, just coming up to 7 o'clock. Let me see now. Live, we are live. Hello, everyone. Just give me a couple of seconds. There we are. All prepared for the arrival of my lovely guest from down under. I often say to her, how are things down under? And I think, oh, maybe that's not exactly the right thing to say. But we'll just wait for Elsa to pop on. How are you all doing in these so-called energies? The energies are up, the energies are down, the energies are going sideways. Does it really matter what the energies are doing? As long as you know how to keep centered and grounded. Does it really matter what's going on in the world of politics? As long as you can just keep watching and keep centered and grounded. Maybe that's what it's all about. Who knows? Are we being infiltrated by extraterrestrials? Or is it an angelic agenda? I don't know. Oh, God. Elsa, hurry up, please, and rescue me. Shanine Friel, hello, my love. I hope you're keeping well. You're having a little break to put your feet up. That's a good idea. Manicure, pedicure. I don't know whether I'm ever saying the right thing when I say these things. But that seems like a good idea. Just take a big deep breath, take a step back, and just sit and just enjoy the moment. Because apparently that's the plan. Right, we're supposed to try in this chaos just to keep centered. Have I said this? Just to keep centered and grounded and relaxed and open and vulnerable, right, to the next inspiration. That's breathing in. The next inspiration from our heart of hearts. And then just if we need to, act upon that, because by all means and by all accounts, that's the way forward to navigate through these very peculiar times. And maybe it's all for a purpose. Maybe we're here to save the world, or maybe we're here to just create something beautiful and become radiators of joy. That seems feasible to me. Elsa, hurry up. Hurry up. Otherwise, it'll become one of them that always off again. Right. What's he going on about now? And I looked back at some stuff I did 6, 7, 8 years ago, and nothing's changed really, except me. I've just got a bit older and I've grown a beard now. But I'm getting younger on the inside, certainly. Um, the message was the same message that was given to me a long time ago, and I won't spoil the fun. But hey, I was trying to keep a low pro. Behave yourself. No, you're not. By telling everybody I'm coming off Facebook now, don't even think about me. It's nothing at all. I'm just having keeping a low profile. You're worse than me for this show. Right, behave. Right, so let me just see now. Have I done something wrong? I've always done something wrong. Or maybe Elsa is just having another cup of coffee to give her some sort of Dutch courage to face what's coming up next. I don't know. We'll see. Just have to look and see if, let's see what's going on over here. Get this device here. Oh dear. Stacey Lynn, nice to see you. I don't know whether you knew I was watching you, but your name's just popped up. I'm just having a look here. Oh, Elsa Dillon has entered the waiting room. Admit, shall we let her in? There she goes. Here she comes to rescue me from myself. That's what we need to do, is rescue people from themselves, really. How do you do that? By keeping out of the way. There she comes, spinbeings.com. If you ever get a chance, pop onto spinbeings.com and look at all the magnificent stuff there. Adam, hello, Adam, my boy. I hope you're keeping well. Angie, Vicky, nice to see you all. I can't see you, but you know, it's just a term. Ah, here she is. There she is. Elsa Dillon, how are you getting on?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Well, you look very, considering it's very early in the morning there, you look full of beans. Have you had beans or have you had 4 cups of coffee or
No, not yet. Not
not yet?
enough.
But is it 5 a.m. there over there?
It's actually 5:05, so I'm sorry I'm a little late. So,
No, that's all right. That's all right. It's no problem at all. Because normally you're like you do stuff at 3 a.m., don't you, in the morning? So you've had a bit of a lie in, have you?
oh, April Fools, that it just got me yesterday. So,
Well, it's a funny old thing, isn't it, April Fool? Because
mm,
in some calendars, apparently in the Julian calendar, April the 1st was the first day of spring.
yeah.
But then somebody, I think he was called Gregory, he hijacked that and made January the 1st.
Mm.
And everybody's biorhythms and clocks went out of sync, really. Oh, if you hear this
Wow.
sort of whining noise behind, it's a little demon called Griselda Delaney Walsh. She's about that big, right? And she's horrendous. She's frightening. And she wants to be let out so she can go and play with the foxes, but she can't because I'm the boss. So if you hear this screaming and this banging on the door, it's just Griselda, right? Yeah,
I'm the boss. That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah. You know that one. I'm the boss. So I go down, she lays on her back, shows me her tummy. I start just tickling her tummy, and then she goes and then scratches me and bites me and everything, because she's a little swine. Well, she's a little pussy cat. She's a
Yeah.
Cyprus. We got her from Cyprus, during that COVID thing, whatever that was. And we had to go through all this sort of tortuous ways to get her from Cyprus, because she couldn't come direct. So she had to be transported through Germany and come round through Holland and all that sort of stuff. And we wouldn't be without her. I love her. When I see her face, my heart lights up. And to me, that's what it's all about. I prefer the company of animals than people at the moment. And that's getting worse and worse. I'm becoming so isolated that I just want to be here with Pumpkin and Griselda and sometimes my wife. But don't tell her I said that. She's out at the moment, and she's come off Facebook for a while because some people are doing that. They're coming off Facebook for a rest. But I'm going on already. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, um, it's funny. She's from Cyprus, so she's one of the Roman ones. Oh, we're just finding how 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 ingrained it all is, um, and how we are all really connected, and how playful it's always been. I mean, even in tragedy, which is, yeah, it's still in jest.
Yeah,
It's it, and you can 3D it as much as you want, but let me tell you, it shows up like it did yesterday for us. And anyone who watched my show with Smiley One, Mila, all I talked about was tires. Well, the only spot on the farm where I've put all the tires is where we had a car accident yesterday. And I go down and have a look at the accident and see if we can, assist or be a service or butt out. It's a red car. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is just Dr. Joe all over again. I, I was just like, red car, really? And, all these people coming to help, like so many people there helping, all the ambulances and You know what I really noticed about them all is they weren't consumed by it
No.
because they do it all the time. They were actually having laughs about coffee. They weren't laughing at the situation and they were respectful, but they were giving each other handshakes and hugs and, like not because the accident was sad, but because they were happy to see each other. They were all working together. They accident happened on the hour, and in less than 45 minutes, they've cut this person out of the vehicle and got her in the ambulance and on her way. Like, we are in the country. It takes a while to get to us. Like, we're under 45 minutes, they got this sorted. And I was just like, wow, this is what we all need to do now. We all need to come together as community. Doesn't matter where it is or how dangerous it is. We all come together as community and assist each other. And with keeping your heads as well, literally.
I think it's marvelous. I mean, tired means tires, and tired means to me that everybody's exhausted. Lots of people are tired and exhausted, and I'm trying to help people with what I've learned is that we seem to burn energy foolishly, and we waste our time, and we spend time foolishly on probably unnecessary things, really. And part of that, this is your feng shui of everything, really, because to me, feng shui is time and energy management. And it's basically about how you act in this little box of space and time that we find ourselves in. And I've learned that now because what I'm beginning to see, I sound very serious at the moment, but I'm beginning to see that people are burnt out, but they're also bored and burnt out at the same time, you know. And there's a connection between that, and it's all to do with energy, really, because if we give away our vitality over unessential things, then it tires us out. We become fed up, we feel hopeless, and we can't see the point in anything. And I think that's my job now. I'm beginning more and more to help people to manage their time and energy through breathing and through awareness of themselves because we've been so distracted to external things and we're being tempted all the time by these things. I mean, that's all part of the game. Because I'm like you, I see this as a big game. Not stupidly, because I mean some horrendous things going on, but I'm almost become a spectator now, and I can almost choose what I want to engage in or put the drive shift lever in. It's like driving a car. I can watch things and I get a sense of where do I want to sort of get involved here. I never had that before. Everything was an unconscious jumping in all the time without any thinking about it. I don't know why I've got into all this serious stuff, but you know, that's how I see it at the moment is that there's chaos, there's necessary chaos. There's a disintegration of basically every system on the planet back into its component parts so that we can pick the parts up and create something more beautiful from a different sort of motivation force. Good grief. I better hand over to you quickly here before they get even more serious.
Well, it's interesting that it happened right before, Dr. Joe's show. So it's like not 24 hours, but enough space for me to understand it. And then it happened 1 hour after the so-called April Fool. Um, and so then I start to see a formula. I start to understand the time of it, that there's heaven once. So it's calling me. It's the tides. It's calling me. Um, it's Thai red. So it's the two are ready. And I was like, okay, what what I want to share though, is that the night before I was supposed to put something there. It was in the quad bike trailer, and I was supposed to. I was cleaning up from the cyclone debris, and there was something that I had to put in the tire location, and I didn't. I was too tired. So I thought I'll leave it for the next day. And then all day yesterday, I was too tired to do that sort of thing. So I just sort of lied in the sun and enjoyed the sun because we haven't had sun for so long. Richard, I asked to mow there. He didn't mow there. I was supposed to go pick up branches there. I didn't pick up branches there. So now I've got three things that we were sort of supposed to do in that area, and we just didn't feel like going down there in this rainforest section of the farm. So we were tapped into that energy. We knew that the energy was off or
Yeah.
not right there, and we followed our senses. And I'm very sorry for the outcome of that person and the other person who had the head-on car accident there. But it was a confirmation for me that we were tapped into that well before. And so I'm sharing this because if you do get those feelings of not wanting to do something or trust those because this is the fool in us, the jest, the spirit, the dragon in us saying, not yet. Right? Waiting those hours makes such a difference to your life.
I agree. I agree. And normally I've been a person who's driven. I have something in my mind. I'm going to do this today. And no matter what, I'm going to get it done. I don't listen to that anymore. If I don't know what to do, I just let everything go and drop back into my heart. And I just say, I'm not sure what to do. Please guide me. And I try, and that's becoming stronger and stronger. Right? It's like a whisper. Just leave it for now, son. In another hour, right, we'll send you a bit more information. And that's how I live my life now. And it seems to be working. I did it today. I need to get my old laptop is falling apart, so I needed a new one. So I've gone on and I've looked at the 10 million laptops that are available, right? And I thought, oh well, I'll get one like that because Catherine's got one like that and it's pretty good, blah blah blah. And I got no, just wait, just wait. Anyway, and then I got a sort of a ping, ping. Right, look now, put this in. I've got all the information here. Right, and I put it in, fed it into Google. It took me to a computer, right? It gave me a price, and I thought, well, that's a bit steep there. Maybe I'll look around and I got no, hang on a second. Just press buy now. So I pressed buy now, and there was two options. This is the weird thing. I pressed on the laptop only and it gave me a price. And then I pressed on laptop plus Norton for a year and Windows for 365 for a year. And it gave me a price that was £300 cheaper. So they'd made a mistake. So I thought, because then I go, oh, hang on a sec, and I'm getting this. Just buy it now, Joe. Buy it, right? So I pressed on it, bought it, and I basically saved £300 because the company, right, it's called Very in the UK, Very, the company had made a mistake. And I thought, because part of me still thinks, oh, I'll have to tell them, being honest, Joe. And then I got, no, you don't. We're actually guiding you to this. Anyway, cut a long story short, had I not listened and let go, right, I wouldn't have been guided exactly to the time and the moment and the place. And I know that how this is exactly how this thing works. If we can just let go, surrender, listen to the whispers, just become spectators and just try and go and move with the spirit of when it gets you to try and move. I think that's how it works. And that's what I'm trying to help people with, really. So that was good. And, and then I said to them, when I say them, I mean me heart and me heart and soul. Right. Then I said to them, okay, can you find me a pair of new training shoes now then, please? And this is the answer they got was, we'll do that tomorrow. And I thought, okay, I'll wait till tomorrow. So that's interesting.
See, even spirit gets tired by shopping. It's like it's too much. I can only do one at a time. It's funny though, when you're saying whispers, all I could think of was Griselda and Pumpkin. I look, I'm starting to wonder, maybe you're possessed by these cats are taking over you.
Oh, I am,
Oh,
honest to God.
no.
Well, she's my
But
alarm clock. Griselda's my alarm clock because I can hear her and I think if I move in the bed, I think, oh God, I hope she hasn't heard me yet. Anyway, suddenly it's like, da and she's on my chest. Hiya, Dad. This is about 4 o'clock in the morning. The sun's coming up, Dad, and I want to go out, and I'm thinking, oh, Griselda, just like give us another hour. But no, meow, meow, Anyway, so go down, feed her, chuck it out into the garden, you know. And then I can never go back to bed then after that. I'm up, so I've just got to do stuff and get stuff done and things.
Mm.
Something that came to me, I listened to your talk on your chat with Mela. I still got a Pamela in my head, but I listened to that intently, and there were so many synchronicities that went on. And one that came to me was, and this is amazing, this, because I was thinking of two brothers, and this is what I got: two brothers, two sons, right? And two sons. So I get that all the time. And then I got Tucson in Arizona, right? I keep getting that one. I don't know what it means. It'll come out in the and I got Jacksonville. I get that quite a lot, right? But then I got the importance of the two brothers and balancing, right? The balancing, because sometimes there can be too much energy on one side and then the other needs to come to the fore in order to balance that out. So I'm just passing this on. But then the next thing I got was I'm sure you said Little Hawk, right?
Yeah.
Little Hawk. Well, because I got Horus, because I always get Horus, right?
Mm.
So Little Hawk is Horus. To me, that's the Christ or the Christ center, you know. And I get all the links then, and all the Egyptian links start to fall into place then. And what I've had recently is, right, I've had Moses, the parting of the Red Sea, because I've been invited along to Egypt, right, to the Sinai Desert, right, in November, I've been invited down to go there. And so all the Moses stuff's been pouring in. And I got, you see, Joe, your thing is all about tablets now, but it's not medical tablets. It's tablets that contain the instructions to help people to go forward to find themselves. And I'm thinking, oh, hang on, slow down. So that's basically, but I've written stuff down. But then there was that other stuff then about that triangle in the sky. Remember the one that you blued for me, the triangle, right? That was quite powerful there. And I've never seen those white lines so powerful. But what happened is the next day, everybody was complaining of a sore throat, snotty nose, and bad chests, you see. So there, I've said all that stuff that came up, but what I was getting when I was listening to you and Mailer was I just kept like getting bells dingling, gling, gling all the time. Pick the bones out of that, Mrs. D.
Well, the cross, sorry, the one in the sky was it was like a Batman signal.
Yeah.
Because I see, look, we've been seeing, look, I'm not an expert, but we've been seeing, we call them the noughts and crosses in the sky for since 2012. But there's some that stand out. And, there's those massive crosses that are clear as day. And and it's the timing again, like yesterday, the tires, the synchronicity. It's the synchronicity, it's the time, it's how they happen, where they happen. So I'm reading the signs. I see the big triangle in your sky, and I was like, whoa, because it's not only the triangle, it's the angle of the triangle in a 360 space. So it has great message in it because it's the way it's falling. So it's the alignment of the smoke. So, well, look, am I reading into it? Yeah, I am, because this is all I have. And people go, well, you're making it into something. I go, yeah, I am making it into something because something made it into something as well. I didn't put the smoke there. I did not cause the accident. Dr. Joe does not make Griselda wake up. It's internal. It's innate in us. And did I make up and read into it? Yes, 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 yes. I I am reading into it. I see messages in it, and others do as well. It's not just me. It's just, are you seeing it? Because it's there to assist us. But we look foolish. That's why it's so interesting that you wanted to. When you said, are we meeting on the April Fool's Day? And I was like, yeah, of course we are. It's the coming together of the nutters.
I agree. I agree. And I've been laughed at a lot, really. And I don't mind that at all
Yeah.
because my life sort of parallels. I don't know if you've ever seen Stargate, the series, but the doctor on that, or the scientist who was laughed at by the academic community, Dr. Daniel Jackson, right? He goes off then, right, and into a sort of he gets laughed at by academia, but he gets accepted by all sorts of extraterrestrial things and stuff like that, you know. And that seems to
Yeah.
be what's happened to me, you know, and it still continues to happen. And more and more now, I don't do astrology as such. I don't really understand it because it hasn't sort of gripped me, because that's other people can do that. But what got me was, as I was looking the last couple of days, this partial eclipse, right? It said that the Pleiades, right? I've never been closer to the moon, and this is a very auspicious occasion, especially on April the 1st. Now, my birthday was 2 weeks ago on the 19th of March. So apparently, and I don't do numerology either. I leave other people to tell me about that. But they said, add up your numbers and see what you come up with. So I got 1903, 1955, adds up to 33. I thought, well, I've heard of that before, that 33, right? And then today it's 33 years since I had my last drink of alcohol. So I'm 33 years sober today, right? But this time it's gripped me for some reason as though it's quite important. And then I looked, apparently 33 is a master number, right? And it's also associated with the Christ centered as well, right? And I got, well, great. What does all that mean? Right. And it's just, and this is the thing that came to me. You're on the master vibration, Joe, and your path is one of self-actualization. I thought, well, fair enough. But other than that, you know, that's where I'm up to with it all. And I'm not bothered, if I'm on this master vibration or the Christ thing and all that and leadership and all that, big deal to me, because I take things very so what.
I'm just looking at your triangle and reading it, and the date of it works out to be uh, 8, line 8. So it's the gates of the two suns on either side with the separation in the middle. And this is what's happening is we're realizing there's spirit and soul here, and then you've got to create for the next day this the two. So it becomes understanding that you're here, so you're running the 8 here, but you've got the 8 over here. So your preparation. So see what my hands are doing.
Yeah, yeah,
So now you start moving them together into your spinal cord, and now you start running your ship properly, which is the force, which is a compass that goes up the spinal cord now like this, and it becomes literally your your craft. It's within us.
yeah,
Disclosure is too close us. That means it's in us. Your triangle is Ma King. Ma King was on the day of the equinox, so the leveling out of us. You can't say, oh, you can't, I can't make this triangle up. It's got the sun in the forward motion, and it was on Marbon, which is one of the most powerful days of the year. Marbon or a Ma King is Ta King, and that means you become master within yourself. You reign all the Ta coming in from the meteors and the comets. Now, if you think May is going to be bigger, heads up. So practice with everything that's happening now, because May is known as the Grand. Um, Everyone's having coffee. uh, Coffee machine. But grand gesture is what's the message I keep getting over and over. I had it a lot with Mila's messages. I've had it a lot with sessions. The grand gesture for all is coming. We were when the first son returns home, however this was, I had to let go of that too, Dr. Joe. You rode the whole road. You guys saw it in me. You saw what I had to go through. When the first son returns home, however that may be, whether it's just soul or spirit or both, when he returns home, great abundance will happen for all. And this is what they're meaning. It's meaning you will learn the gifts to reign yourself, because we've been allowing others to reign us. And it's how fast you're prepared to let go of the old ways. So it's like, the sooner you clean up the room, the sooner you can go out and play. It's like, well, I don't want to put that away, which was me. I didn't want to put that away, but that saved me from being in the accident zone.
It's fascinating this because the triangle is important to me, and the triangle within that 360 circle, right? That's the symbol of Alcoholics Anonymous, okay? And that's AA. So there's the two A's that are split there, and AA stands for Alcoholics Anonymous, but it also stands for Altered Attitude as well. And one of the primary functions of AA is to help people to let go of all old ideas, all emotions, all attitudes that have been up to that point the driving forces and the motivations for that person's life. And they don't say to AA, because AA's got nothing to do with alcohol except that it tells you how to get shut of the drinking. But then it's all about then recovering your soul's purpose. And it's not religious, this is about a deep thing. So what I see is, when I see a 2D vision, so there's the triangle, there's the circle, but it's, to me, it's not a triangle, it's an actual pyramidal, and there's pyramidal complexes in the brain, but that's a story for another day. But this is within a sphere, and this is, to me, the gut. See, it's coming up my spine now. Okay, so I'll keep going. Right, so there's a sphere, and as you gain self-mastery, right, you become more capable of handling chaotic situations by staying heart-centered and grounded. And basically, that's the purpose, as far as I see it, as the whole of human race is about self-mastery. It's about then finding your own individual skills, gifts, strengths, right? What you're good at and what you're naturally, innately capable of. And it's expressing those. And if you can't do something, don't worry about that, because somebody that you know will be able to do what you can't do. So you're all going to click up together like a big sort of spherical global jigsaw. And I've had this vision all the time, a bit like Buckminster Fuller, where 12 link with 12 through the 13. Right, I'll just say this as it's coming out. So the 13 is important because the 13 is in the driving seat, and that's the Christ center. The Christ center is linked then to the 12 cranial nerves, which are representative of the 12 meridians, which are the 12 disciples, which are the 12 planets. And that thing I put up for advertising this session, I got that off the internet. Go and get an image that does this, that, and the other. Well, it's got 12 different planets and planetary structures around it. And I know that we are being guided by the energy of those different planets. And some people say, well, there aren't 12 planets. There are, but some of them are still in the ethereal dimensions as well. So that's where I'm up to. I mean, I get this stuff and I've had it for a long, long time, but it's even starting to make sense now that as above, so below. What's actually going on within us is there's being a resynchronization of our left hemisphere and our right hemisphere, but it's coming about through the opening and the expression of our true selves through the heart center. That's almost like pulling them together. And it's like the golden child or little hawk. That's why I got this. Horus and little hawk, right? The golden child. As that expresses itself and starts growing, it actually brings the two hemispheres together so that the sacred marriage comes back together again. So mum and dad stop falling out, but they start cooperating for the sake of the child. I know I go on like this, but I see that all the time and I can feel it. And I think that everybody now is being given the potential to get out of their heads and into their hearts, to find out who they truly are, to discard who they're not, because they had to find who they're not in order to find who they are. So they can discard what they're not to leave what's already there. So I'll just shut up on this next bit. But the next bit is, right, you don't have to get hold of anything. You just have to let go of everything. And when you've let go of everything, right, that's what's left will be your essential self. Other than that, there's nothing else coming at the moment.
Okay, so the triangle is even getting clearer now. So the triangle goes like on Dr. Joe's one's like this. So it points at the top and then comes down and then it's heading towards the sun. This is east and west. This is little hawk. This is Horus. This is man and wife, husband and wife, masculine, feminine. It's east and west. I've talked about it. It's Mila and Elsa, and you're pulling through to move into the forward. So it comes back to the date number 8, line 8. The line is the horizon. It's the it's the heaven in us. It's the balance in us. You, you mentioned altar. All week I've had this location. And as I was going to this location where we're keeping our horses on the second farm, um, it kept saying, "It's not, you're not saying it right. You're not saying the name right." I'm going, okay, okay. Just because a lot of the time I'm like you, Dr. Joe, I'm just like too tired. I don't want to listen to you guys at the moment. I got to go do this. Anyway, they're going, "You're not saying it right. It's your altar. This is where our horses have led us to." And we were also shown that the horses will lead us back to the, they will be one of the species that will lead us back. The fours, the ones on 4 legs, will lead us back to who we are. And what's happened is we were stood up. I, I keep saying this because they stood us up. And it sounds like we were left. They literally stood us up. We were the fours, and they stood us up and left us here. It's like, all right, now you guys deal with it. And it's like we have had to stand up and go through all these versions of the tar coming through, and um, there's been puppeteer type ones come through. There's all different things that have happened to us in this journey. And now we're going, all right, enough's enough. You've put me through the ringer. But there's something in our souls now, in this type of human that we are right now to this date, has gone, that's it. Put the cat out, get me a coffee. Let's get on with this. Stop telling me what to do.
Yeah.
I've got this. I've got it. I've got it. And this is where I feel like we're at now more than ever. I'm like, really, is this how you're gonna like I'm not only saying it to birds and trees, I'm saying it to other people. Is this really how you, if this is my meeting with you or is this my moment with you, is this how you're gonna treat me? Really? You got it all here. Is this what we're going to talk about? Really? All right. Well, you know what? I'm just going to go for a walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I might catch you a bit later. Like you said, I'll put you on pause for a little bit because you're not seeing all the magic I'm seeing. And I can't force you to see it. And that's okay because maybe I'm meant to see that in you. Who knows? I don't know. Like you said, I don't know all the answers, but I'm okay with you not seeing it as well. But you're missing out because it does make you smile. It is a lot lighter. And this is what these ambulance and oh God, all the security and all the people helping in the accident, they were all very busy, but they were all light-hearted.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were all light-hearted. They had sirens around them, so they had all the mermaids, had all the flashing lights, but they all had knew their place. They were such busy ants, but they all like worked around. No one was arguing. They all knew that they had to help these people. No one was crying.
No.
There was a lot of blood. There was all that going on. Glass and all the birds were up in the tree. So they're all watching what's going on because they're like, oh, here we go, another accident down here. Like I could feel everyone there.
Yeah.
I could also hear the I don't know what the machine's called that takes the heart. What's the because they while they were cutting them out, they had to have the heart thing on where it goes beep,
Oh yeah,
beep.
yeah, like an ECG detector. Yeah,
Yeah, but it flatlined.
right.
And I was like, shake the machine. The batteries. It could be the battery. Like, because I've never, I don't think I've ever had a flat line. I think I might have had it once in hospital hearing it, but it's quite a weird feeling. But I went, shake the machine, they're still there. That's what I felt in me. And then the beep started again. Is that normal? So does that mean they go and
I don't know whether it's normal. I don't know about emergency medicine, so I don't know the answer to that one.
no, but I'm just saying I think the heart stopped and then it kicked back in again.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's quite normal. You can
That
sort
is
of
normal.
use,
Yeah.
yeah, you can use it to kickstart it really and give it a jump start.
Yeah. Well, that's what I heard. I got the trees, I got them all talking about coffees and how their day's been and the birds in the trees. And then you got the flat line and then they get her out but they haven't lost their heads and they're not consumed by it. And I went, you know why these people, there's a reason, there's actually a method to this. They are in crisis moment and they know how to use the power of it. And I know you get what I mean. It's when you're at this crisis moment and it's where the will is, and this is a very powerful moment because this is the same as birth as well. This crisis moment is the will to go forward to the next, which comes back to your symbol 818. It's the eight over here going, I am going to do the eight over there. That's the will. That's
Yeah.
the power. And whether they know it consciously or not, all those workers, there was over 30 of them I could see, whether they knew it or not, because they've been in crisis moment, once or twice a day, it's like they're used to it. So they know how to use the power of it. It's it's a thing. It is a thing. The reason it's not a thing for us, but it is for them, is because they are allowed to be at crisis point. So we've had death and birth shuffled away from us because it's too upsetting, it's too disturbing. I don't think so. I think the birth and the death process is where we come into understanding the power of us.
This is fascinating, this, because I mean, the cross is the crossroads. I think humanity's at a crossroads now, right? I think what happens is in those situations, and this is what I'm getting is it's holy communion of sorts, because communion comes from communicare, which means to share. It's all about sharing, right? So this is when we let go of our ego wills, our little self, and when the big self takes over then. And it's a group thing, it's a community thing, it's people working together for the one purpose of saving a life if possible, right? And I think that's where we're up to. Where I see it now is I think that we're being given the opportunity now to create a better world from the heart, not from the head, because capitalism has had its day. And when I say capitalism, the root word of capitalism is caput, and it means head. That's where it comes from, capitalism. So we're being asked to get out of the head and back into the heart. The heart's associated now with, at this moment, the great shift is associated with the sacred feminine energy. So I don't think this is the Christ center. To me, this is the Christine center, because I keep getting the line. This is a feminine thing, Joe. It's all about out of the head into care and compassion and kindness now and helping out, taking no shit, right? But being as kind as you can, but don't be stupid about it. But cut through all the nonsense now because people have been in fight and flight and fear for eons of time. And now care and rest and recuperation and recalibration needs to come in. And that will be from the sacred feminine energy. It's called the rest and digest response, and it's all about relaxation, reduction of tension, and trust. So it's almost like the matriarchal or the feminine side now is coming in to say, hey, big boy, you've had your day. You've gone a bit off the reins there, really. So this is what we're going to do is we're coming back to give you the clue of what your job is. And I think this will re-empower the masculine in the right direction now. So I get this all the time, loads and loads. But what I'm really getting is to go back to the spherical thing and not the circle. The 12 disciples are basically aspects of where you put your eyes. If you move your eyes to different locations and different sort of compass points, that actually aligns with those 12 different planetary aspects. Now, you might have to align with planet number three, whatever that is, and I might have to realign with planet number six. We're all in the same game, but it's just that we've come here to realign with different aspects of ourselves and therefore to resynchronize what we're here for. See, I know I go on a lot when I'm in this, but this is really about because I looked up what's the purpose really of the 12 cranial nerves, right? And it's basically it's to put your eyes in different places. It's the way you hold your face. My mother used to say this: if you hold your face like that long enough and the wind changes, you'll stick like that. You know what I mean? So the thing about it is there's more truth in that than meets the eye. But if you smile, it changes your facial characteristics, but it also causes your eyes to sit into a different place. And in the end, the heart and the brow chakra are aligned with one another, but we've been so far off alignment that we just need to be more light-hearted. And you know, they call me Dr. Light-hearted, even though I look miserable most of the time, right? Light-heartedness, right? And laughter is the best medicine. There's no doubt about that. Light-heartedness, but not stupidity is the key. And to me, light-heartedness is that feeling of open, vulnerable, flowing, playing, childlike enthusiasm for life. In nomine Patris et Filio et Spiritus Sancti. Bless you, my child.
You know, like you start to think about it, and they've put you in such a serious, profession as well. Like, s- uh, I just, I get Imhotep. I'm. They keep saying that your cord is calling, so it's like I don't know. You might have to do the Rocky voice or someone because it's like they keep showing me the spine. Okay, so you say east and west, and you said the sphere. So you got east and west, which is like the two suns, the ones, right, of us. So it's the sea and the act, right? So we're sitting on the horizon, okay? And then you have the north and the south. Now, treat the horizon as your spinal cord, and the this north and south is going around the east and west, but that way, always that way. It's never that way. It's always that way. It's always right. But this might be different on the other side of the world. I don't know, but it seems to be always right. Northeast, right. So it feels like it keeps going that way with the north and the south spinning around. This might be something to do with the whole flat earth theory. Look, again, I'm not a geologist, but I do understand physics and I understand how the mechanics and magnetics of me feel.
Yeah.
So that's what I go with. I follow the animals and I follow the cloud messages because they're following jet streams around the. This is why, yes, I'm making something of a plane spray mark, but it's how they land in the sky and stay there enough for us to imu step. So that imu is eyes or the ones see the space, the ones see the creating space, and then they step into it. And Imhotep's energy can not only pull you into it, but he had the way of going back and forth easily because he could see it.
Yeah. I
And
understand all this.
he's very masculine energy. And it's very hard for a masculine energy to behave in such a feminine energy way. But it was because he was allowing. So there was no line for him. There was no 818. It was just kept going back and forth, which would also uh, confuse him too. So sometimes he wasn't made him feel unsure in himself. It's interesting. Feel with the beings that come through for me. I always get I always get their sob story as well. Because everyone goes, oh, they're this deity, they're this, but I get the real side of them too. I get and it's something about the real side of them is what actually is the key for me because that helps me understand me and my feelings here because, we put them all on this pedestal up here, the greys or whatever name you want to give any of these beings, the fairies and everything, but they just because if they have those feelings, they've got all these feelings too. And they get the frustration, they get the anger, they get the pain in different ways. And so they're sharing their different way of their feeling of it with me. So then it makes me broader. That's what they call women, broad.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to tell Richard that one later. I'm a broader, not a brooder, a broader.
But I understand this because I do see the same thing myself. It's a bit like the Egyptian connection that we've got. We have the Pharaoh connection, right, and all that. But I also get really deeply connected to the human side of them as well. So we jump timelines back to the human and what's going on, and stuff like that. So I picked the same up. My life consists of being sort of I've got a smile on one side and a sort of a frown on the other side. Really, it's a peculiar feeling, but it's necessary. But just to go back, I get as well. Recently, I've had a big thing again with the Dogon tribe. So we look at Dogon, and we've got dog one. So there's the dog, and there's the Lord of one, right? But I also get the connection with Sirius. And I've said this to you before that most people think that Sirius is like just Sirius A and B, but I keep getting no, Joe. There is a Sirius C. C is the Christ center, C is the heart, C is the resynchronization point, and it's the neutral zone. And I read a thing, and I don't know whether it's true or not, but somebody visited the Dogon tribe, and it was a European bloke. And the Dogons couldn't understand how the European couldn't hear the stars talking to them, right? And that nearly broke my heart, that then, because they live by listening to the guidance from the stars. The stars almost like talk to them and then tell them and show them how to live life and stuff like that. So simplicity is the key. Lightheartedness is the key, and it's a game. It's just a game. And what you got before is always get drawn back to the if you can keep your head when all about are losing theirs and blaming it on you. That's what's happening at the moment is everybody's trying to blame everybody else for what's going on. But I get that. I think that's where we're up to really is how can we keep our head in this chaos? And we have to keep our heads by letting go of our heads, really, decapitating ourselves and just living. And the other thing is, and this is a real strong message that I've been talking to somebody about today, is you've got to let go. You don't have to do anything, but it's just a suggestion. It's a strong suggestion. You've got to let go of your need to know, right? Because nobody knows what's coming up yet. So you can't rely on your past skills and capabilities. They're all the things that you need to let go of. And you just need to trust your intuition to guide you through the next process and stuff. So this is navigating from the heart.
You say you don't do astrology, but astrology right now is that. They say in astrology right now, so the stars are talking because so if you went to the Dogon tribe, you'd be sitting with the elders now because you'd be smoking the pipe with them because they'd be really like, oh, he sees the stars. He doesn't know it, but he's talking to them. So the what they're saying now, the stars are saying it has to be done in literally a new way. Catapult is ant head. So
Yeah,
you have to act your gates in a new way. And there is no new way. The only new way is your new way and their new way. That's it. It can't be done in their new way, and it can't be done in the old way. And this is what's challenging for the humans now and creating crisis moments so that they can see that and become the power of that and realize that crisis moment is your will's choice to go forward, to catapult. And it's not a bad thing. This is evolution of me. This is evolution of creation. And if creation's quite happy for whatever you choose, it's 555. So I must be on the right path. No, no. Okay, they're saying they keep saying spinal cord. They won't leave me alone. Sorry. I'm gonna have they want me to shut up. What is it? Can you feel it there or not? Am I
yeah. The fine.
ask?
The spinal cord's important because there's 33 cervical vertebrae.
No, they're telling me they something wants to come in
Oh,
on,
right,
but not
okay.
on me, on you. But
No, I can feel something going on in my throat. Let me just sit with it then.
okay. Sorry.
It's all right. No, 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 no. I'll go with that. Yeah, okay. Here it comes. Here it comes. So once again, this mightn't record this, but I'll give it a go anyway. So what I do now is I relax. I open my heart up, and what happens then is I can feel something coming up from the ground now, up my legs, and it sits in my perineum, and that's when it sort of builds up then. So I get a funny feeling in my perineum department. And then that's when I have to open my throat. Because when I start expressing it now, it'll start making its way up my spine. So bear with me. Oh God. And so now I've got T-Rex, and I've had T-Rex with me all day. Ola yola nakazat ola zat no kodbat ye. Balak no kosap nikola yat no. Baluk na habesat nikola yat no. Balak no ya. Yalat no kola sap no. Walat ya kosam ya. Bayo. Sabnukula kasapneola, Ulamnikola toza, Ulnamnika lutsa. I say,
You okay?
Sydney,
You okay?
God, there's all sorts of heat coming out of my body in all sorts of different places. There was a
Sorry,
woman called Louise Hay, and she believed that it was what was going on in the invisible realms that determined our health and well-being. And she believed very much in planetary influences, and she felt that different planets, right, actually affected different parts of the body. And she did a tape recorder. It used to be a cassette where it was like a meditation, and it was about, she said, you must love Uranus. See what I mean? So it's important to love Uranus, right? Because it will help your health in that certain area of your body. I just thought I'd bring a bit of lightheartedness in there because, oh. God almighty, I feel like a furnace now.
Okay, I don't. Okay, so Ola is frozen friends. So this is the frozen tar coming past. Then they said understand the sap of it. Sap is a big word for me. It's been a big word. Sap is the essence of us. It's the tar with the water carrier. The water carrier is to me Akashic records. It carries through, and this is how we can remember other versions of ourselves and things like this, and pick up on ancient text. It's in the water. This is how the animals do it. The rocks and the plants, they all know who they are through the water. And they don't think about it. They just, it is. It is what it is. But the sap is the new versions coming through. There's not one, by the way. There's multiple, and it's annular. It's every year they come past the frozen friends. Ula. Um, they kept saying, Ka is Lord. Ka is Lord. Lord is not, there's no God above the other. The Lord is you. And Uranus is you. So where the U's, EWES, whichever way you spell it, which is a compass. So where the E's or the W's, all different directions, muse, use, sheep. This is where they got the whole sheep thing from as well. So where the U's rain on you for you to see. Uranus is the U's. They get rained on. They're still the U's, but they're like a new version of you. And see how the words, they knew all this. Whoever created this language, the serious ones, you can,
See, I
they
feel like crying my
really
eyes
did,
out.
they
I feel like
really
crying
did
my
get
eyes
us.
out now because so much has just been released here in this thing. And I
Yeah.
also get as well, there's almost like a sort of a sage type guide that guides me, you know, and I'm only just like, because I just try and tune in like you. I don't fully understand what's going on. I try and follow this guidance. And Elsa, it's changed my life completely because before I was working from knowledge and now I'm basically working from nothing really, you know, except feeling, you know. And I have and sometimes I'll be speaking ordinary. I say, "Ti chaba set ni hwre dik na host." Cara sab de holan sab de holan da vir o tush ma hel. Zebra all techn era sip di hum. And what's happening to me now is, and I was talking to somebody else before, these different voices and tones and things are coming out, but also my fingers going now, and it's going from right to left now. So there's almost like an Arabic or maybe Egyptian thing. And when I write it down on paper now, it's a bit like that, you know, that light language stuff that people do in figures. But also now it's the charab nisha, the charab this iro dola sam dicha morticha shim digay. Kasabro undercut sap ni heltje, kurab milk the charl some digra bashanda gana mutekate. Vosan do techne ur bush. So I just let those come out now. And the more I do this, it's almost like I get more and more information. It's just tricky when I'm doing a lecture at the university because I can feel it. And because I have a basic cosmic piss taker that lives on my shoulder, right? And it's a bit like I'm saying something, I'm trying to get across a scientific message, and suddenly I'm sorry about that. I'm
Oh,
just
but
explaining what's happening to me. You know, it may be my schizophrenia is coming back, but it might be something more different than that, really.
it's interesting though, like, this is a really good example, because Dr. Joe is able to hold the ancient ones before time one, which is the first one though. I call him Rocky, but it's not just one, it's more than one coming through. It's just which one presents, but it's of that era. That one takes it out of you a bit because you're going way back. Whereas this other one can pop in and out easily. This one would probably be the one that comes through. If Rocky came through in a presentation, wow.
Oh, I think he's on his way. I think he's on his way.
But the other one can pop in and out because it's closer to our timeline or something, or our DNA, whereas the other one's DNA is so further away. So if you had to look at your spinal cord as say your spinal cord's the horizon, and you
Yeah,
look at it as each uh, bone is the next era almost. So instead of it being Egyptians, Romans, those eras, look at the spinal cord as our ascension process in being the evolution of human. This is
but
why I really don't want us to think in the old way. The old ways are old for a reason, and they're great. They serve you till this point, but you're going to have to dissolve them.
yeah, but that's what a solution is, isn't it? This is the whole thing: is the heart is the solution, and the solution dissolves problems, right? And it's
Yeah.
soul because the sun's in there for the soul, and solvents, and and vent is wind, and so all the elements are in there. I get the same as you really get the elements, get the directions, get the cardinal points, get the seasons. It all comes in, and I've got to try and shuffle it around and make some sense. So the vertical line now, that was normally the vertical column, but now it's a horizontal column that immediately became a piano with all the keys on and the different frequencies. So it's about playing the different keys at the certain times. It's not just about playing the bass ones and coming up all the way through to the high ones. It's about playing different ones for the moment that you're in. So, and it's opened the gates again. I'm going to be unable to sleep tonight now, but. So,
Yeah.
in a practical sense, though, Elsa, what does it all mean?
Well, it's going to be very entertaining, people being around you, that's for sure. Um, it's for me, this particularly this last few months, I'm just letting everyone around me know people ask me what I do, and the kids are like, oh no, you can see them roll their eyes. Well, they're not letting me be a fashion photographer. So when people ask me what I do, um, I'm straight up now. I'm an ET contactee. There you go. Um, put that in your pipe and like, what is it? Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah.
That's me. That's me now. Like this is my Facebook account. I'm not, I this is what, and then like, what do you mean? And I'm going, well, just look, go on and have a look, and if it resonates for you, you'll be interested, and if not, you'll press the red button. I'm happy with the red button. You can press either or, whether you want the red button or the green button, it's fine.
Here's
Um,
a funny thing. They say to me, "What do you do?" And I've said this before. I'm a consultant in psycho, neuro, endocrino, immunohematology. Right. Right. And then they say, well, explain that. And I do explain it then about frequency, how you process information in your mind is transmitted to the brain through the nervous system down to your glands and your hormones. The hormones then flood your plasma. The plasma and the biochemistry then actually infiltrates the stem cells membranes. And so that information that was processed in your mind has then been transformed through different energy levels into the plasma to the cell membrane, and what goes on at the cell membrane will then infiltrate the nucleus, which will then determine how your DNA expresses itself. Other than that, I'm not quite sure of what I do really. But yesterday, this is no lie, yesterday, I teach on a child and adolescent mental health program. So this is people who will be going out into the community and helping children and adolescents, right, to try and, to improve the quality of their lives. Yesterday, I got this in the morning. Take your pendulum with you. And I thought, oh my God, here we go. Because academia is all about where's the evidence and stuff like that. So I got, just go and show them how to balance the chakras. Right. So this is no lie. I got one of the students, I got her to lie down on the table. I covered her bits and places so she felt comfortable and stuff like that. And then I got the pendulum out. Well, they were all mesmerized because the pendulum was giving it loads of that, and stuff. So then they asked me to explain what are these chakras. And I had to say to them, you must remember when you do your assignments, you can't mention this. You can maybe mention it, but say, but there's very little evidence base behind this. So more work needs to be done in the future. And then I said to them aside, I said, because this is the future of medicine. And that's how I left yesterday. And you know when you know you've done something right, right? And you've got that floating feeling. I floated all the way down to the train station. I thought that was really enjoyable, that, you know. So that's what I'm doing now. Had the academics found out, because there was all sorts of people passing looking in. And I was thinking, oh, soddy, I'm here for a reason. I'm here to do this. Right. And so I just did it anyway. So that was yesterday.
I love that they ask you what you do, you can't, I couldn't even write all those words down. I can't. You know what? If someone asked me what Dr. Joe does, I'd write cat slave.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's much
Absolutely.
quicker.
I'm surprised she's not tapping on the door here because she's a little
Oh,
swine.
she's
Yeah.
gonna be filthy mood with you.
Oh, she will, but she'll be all right. She'll be back in the morning. Hiya, dad, you know.
Oh, it's I they needed us to have this 2 year cycle
Yeah,
to have a laugh, have a jest at ourselves, go through some traumas, you know,
yeah,
um, and to regain our smiles, and to see our tears for what they are, a cleansing and a magic potion for the next. And now with I don't know about you, Dr. Joe, but I have to say there's so many accidents happening.
yeah, yeah,
So many. Like, so we leave our home to go for out yesterday, and then we're with people and they're telling us of accidents that they had just had. It put like their son or something within in days of like in such a short space of time. So this energy is really it's rattling everyone. So
Well, I'm having
we've
loads of people are getting onto me because they're in desperate stakes, you know, and they don't know what to do and stuff like that. And all I can do is I share my experience, my strength, and my hope with people. I tell them where I was, tell them where I'm up to now, you know. But I can't grow up for anybody else. I mean, what people don't want to hear basically the message that I'm carrying unless they're desperate. And I have to say to them, I found out through my own experience that this is about emotional growth. It's about emotional growth. So we have to face the stuff that we've pushed down because it's being brought up to the surface now so that we can own it, we can face it, and we can understand it. And that's what I honestly believe now. Now, if you can't handle it, you'll try and push it down again. But there's a counterforce now that'll go push it back up again. And it's basically, Todd Medina used to say this all the time. He used to say, let go or be dragged. And that's what's happening now. It's a Zen phrase, let go or be dragged. And that's what's happening. This force of cleansing that's coming through is far more powerful than us. It's like a high pressure hose, and it's actually working on the insides and the outsides of the pipes, right? And it's cleaning every bit of crap up. And what is the crap? The crap is the stuff that's out of alignment with who we essentially are, you know. And Elsa, you know, I've had to go through this process, and I don't think anybody will escape anything at all. So it's just surrender, say that, make the request. Please send me the next bit up, please, and I'll try and do my best now to, to understand it, to act upon it in order to neutralize it. Because this is about the neutralization of karma, really, more than anything else, you know. And so,
well
how
there
do you do
is
it?
yeah.
How do you do it? Is you do it by just sit, tap on your heart, open the gates of your heart, and then say to your heart, and that's the bit people, what do you mean say to me heart? Just say to your heart, please show me because I've got no idea what to do next. The important thing is your heart will present you with the information in a sequence that's beneficial to you. If you listen to external experts who are giving you advice, they might get you doing stuff, which would probably be helpful, but it might be out of sequence. So it'll revolve rather than evolve. So the stuff, no, because I see this more and more, the human race has gone round and round and round in the same old circle for a long time. And if you keep doing what you'd always did, you'll keep getting what you'd always got. So evolution means you have to do something different. And that's where we're up to now, in my humble opinion.
Well, it's back to it's evolution. So it's going round like this. It can't be the same as the last day. And as much as you think that you'll be more comfortable with it this way, it's much better for your energy and your body and your well-being to keep moving in this direction, keep spinning. If so you're supposed to spin like this around this line. This is your lineage of each person, so your spinal cord. But if you've got a, a a certificate one over here telling you this is how you do it, it pulls you off course, so your orbit changes. So you're trying to do round the spine, but then you go zapped over here. So it becomes like this, like, I don't know, like it's a wrong, not wrong, but it just pulls you out. So it makes your orbit long. Can you see what I'm saying? Like it
Of
makes the
course, I
orbit
understand
longer.
perfectly.
It's just like you go, you can do it that way too if you really want to, but you're really you're going against you're going against your grain. This saying, going against your grain, is the star seed of you. You're going against the star seed of you. You have to find it in you because all the healing is in you. And if you don't know or understand that, that's where great people like Mila and Dr. Joe come about. They share and they assist. And there's many people out there that will share and assist with you. You just have to find the right one for you. And so,
And that's why I'm glad because in Alcoholics Anonymous, they have people called sponsors, you know. And I tapped on my heart, I was suggesting, and I said, can you please find me somebody who will sponsor me and help me to get through this program? And I found somebody who's basically, he saved my life because he took me back to his home. His wife said, "Oh, fuck, not another one." So I thought, oh, here we go. Right, I'm causing trouble everywhere I go, all about me. And he gave me the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and he had one. And he said, I'll read it. You follow the lines, right? And I'd read this book hundreds of times, Elsa, to try and get better. But as he read it and as I followed what he was reading, it made complete sense to me for the first time. And that was the start of my journey to recovering my soul's purpose, really. And I think that that's available to everybody else. There's a process that we need to go through. But the first thing is to realize that we've got no idea what's going on. That's a really good starting point. I've tried absolutely everything. I'm as miserable as sin. Can something please help me? And it's already within you. And this is the thing is the solution's not out there, it's in there. But sometimes you just need somebody to help you to open up the gift, really.
well, you have to ask.
You have
And
to
this
ask.
is a bit ask and receive. So
Yeah,
you have to arc.
yeah.
So you have to act forward. So you put the call out, which is what Griselda does. She puts the call out to receive is soul see Eve. And it's not, this is not about man and woman. To soul see Eve is to see the even in you. And so you have to arc and you have to then soul will see Eve. And wow, seriously, that's so pretty, Dr. Joe.
Yeah. This has been
Arc and
marvelous.
soul.
And
Oh,
that's what,
thank you so much. I like when Dr. Joe does these languages, to me it I understand it better than English.
yeah. No, so
It's
do
re
I. When I'm saying it, it almost loops round into my ear, and I can sort of appreciate what it's saying. It gives me a different feeling energetically, and it
mm,
almost sort of it opens me up, and I feel much better. But just to go back to the final thing is, ask and you shall receive. I know that's a bit like religious, but I think that you've got to ask for help to your deeper self, right? This is how I explain it, and then Your vocation will be given to you. You will be shown. And vocation is from vox. And vocation means calling. It means your calling. So you're basically asking, who am I? What's the purpose of my life here? And if you honestly want the answer, just sit, listen, and wait for it to emerge. Don't let any, as you would call not a certificated one, tell you, you know. Elsa, I'm a certificated one, you know, and it near took me to be deaf. But it should be certified, not certificated. Anyway, Elsa, thank you so much. And thanks for popping along. And hopefully we'll do another one of these further down the line when we get the calling, right? And we'll see who pops in then to have a word with us. But lots of love to you, lots of love to your family, and speak to you soon. And thanks very much, everybody. Bye bye. I'm going to sort Griselda out now. Bye bye.